Hello there, it's Philip Whitehead once again to take you through the cabinet that we held on Tuesday the 19th. There were 16 items on the agenda, so it was a reasonably long cabinet. You'll be pleased to know I'm not going to take you through all 16. I'm just going to pick 3 to go through because I think they're probably the most relevant from a resident's point of view and also probably the most interesting. First one was special schools. I've no doubt many of you will have seen the reports we've got on special schools, where we're taking the current 3 special schools in the north of the county. We're going to create 1 school with 3 sites, i.e. amalgamate all the schools, bring them all together under 1 headship, 1 governorship, and then at the same time, or as that progresses, we're going to do a £33 million build to give us up to 400 spaces and places for special needs children. This is essentially simply because of the growth we've had in this area. The growth in special needs education is such that we need these additional places, and that's what we'll be doing. That build will take us to about 2023-24, and until that time, all 3 sites will remain open and functional. We will make a decision after that, after the transition to the new school and everything else, what actually happens to those sites in the future. Because to be completely honest, we can't predict where we'll be with the requirements and the numbers at that time. So there was a worry at one time we would have to close the sites sooner than that. We are keeping them all open until the end of the build. The investment will be in Rowford School. That's where we'll build the £33 million new school. But the other schools will be kept open, the sites will be kept open in the meantime. The second item on the agenda was budget monitoring. Every 3 months we release how we're doing against last year's set budget, which is about £330 million for an authority our size. And at the moment we're predicting that if we were to do nothing, we would be overspent by about 2.678 million. Now to you and I, 2.678 million sounds like a huge amount of money. It's about 2 days spend for Wiltshire Council. We spend 330 odd a year, and therefore about £1 million a day is being spent by this council on all its services. So 2.678 million we are forecasting we will be overspent by, but as we always do, and we've done every 10 years of this council's life, we will bring those savings in on time and deliver a balanced budget by the end of March. It's interesting to see that if you look at last year, we were predicting having to do £27.2 million worth of savings this year. And we've achieved those savings, or will achieve those savings by the end of the year. So this additional amount of spend we're doing is simply additional growth beyond what we forecast last year. And last year we forecast £40 million worth of growth. The last item I want to talk about is we put through a paper to more than double our accommodation and support for our care leavers. Care leavers are what we term our children that we've been responsible for their care for various reasons it may be through their childhood life. When they get to 18, they're leavers, they become care leavers, and we currently got about 10 beds that we associate with that so that we can look after them as they're leaving our care. Unfortunately, a lot of these beds are just on the edge of the county rather than in the county, and so sometimes the care leavers are out of county when we want them in county. So we're putting forward an increase of these beds from 10 to 25 so we can base more of them in the county and keep the children close to where they've grown up. Finally, I know that all of you will have noticed this by now out there, how dark it's getting at the end of each day or first thing on a morning. As the guy who has to walk the dog every morning at about 6 o'clock, it is absolutely pitch dark, and where I live there are no street lights and actually no pavements. So please, if you walk in that time in the morning or late at night, please wear something bright so that any motorist who happens to be around as well can see you in plenty of time. Look forward to speaking to you next month. Cheerio for now.